A lone Saiyan space pod drifts aimlessly through the deep, silent void of space. A navigation error causes the pod to veer away from the desolate planet Vampa. The pod enters Earth's atmosphere, trailing a blazing tail of fire across the night. Deep in the woods of Mount Paozu, Grandpa Gohan witnesses the falling star. The pod slams into the forest, creating a massive, smoldering crater in the dirt. Grandpa Gohan peers into the wreckage to find a crying baby with a tail. Far away, Paragus' ship is obliterated by the shockwave of Planet Vegeta's destruction. Gohan holds the child, noticing the ground shaking with every one of his cries. Unlike Kakarot, this child suffers no head injury, retaining his raw, primal Saiyan instincts. Gohan names him Broly and begins a life of patience and constant vigilance. Broly grows quickly, his power level already dwarfing any human on the planet. The child is kind, but his power is a volatile ocean beneath his skin. During a nightmare, Broly accidentally releases a wave of energy that levels the forest. Gohan realizes his grandson is a being of cosmic destruction in a child's body. He begins teaching Broly martial arts to provide structure and mental control. The discipline helps, but the volcanic power continues to grow within the boy. By age 756, the elderly Grandpa Gohan passes away, leaving Broly completely alone. Broly retreats into the deep wilderness, fearing his own overwhelming, uncontrollable strength. Bulma arrives at Mount Paozu, searching for the Dragon Ball's high-energy signature. She stumbles upon a clearing and witnesses a man moving faster than sound. Broly strikes a mountain wall, turning the entire cliffside into fine stone powder. Terrified by the sheer violence of his power, Bulma flees back to civilization. She tells Master Roshi about the monster hiding in the mountains of Paozu. Roshi seeks out Broly, approaching the mountain hermit with calm, ancient wisdom. Through months of patient dialogue, Roshi earns a small measure of Broly's trust. Roshi reveals the truth of his heritage. Broly is a Saiyan from the stars. Raditz arrives on Earth, his scouter detecting an impossible power level on the horizon. The scouter explodes as Raditz tries to quantify the energy coming from Paozu. Raditz confronts the massive warrior, shocked to find his fellow Saiyan survivor. Raditz demands Broly kneel in the name of the Saiyan Prince, Vegeta. When Broly refuses, Raditz attacks with a desperate high-speed energy blast. The explosion clears, leaving Broly completely unscathed and visibly disappointed in his kin. Broly moves with a speed Raditz cannot track, striking him in one motion. Raditz lies broken on the forest floor, his pride shattered alongside his bones. Raditz sends a final, frantic distress signal to his commanders across the stars. The message is brief and terrifying. I have found the legendary Saiyan. Piccolo senses the overwhelming power from afar and realizes Earth is in danger. Piccolo approaches Broly, offering a different kind of training based on cold focus. The Namekian pushes Broly to master his breath and contain the inner storm. Vegeta and Nappa arrive on Earth, their pods leaving twin trails of fire. The Z-Fighters engage the invaders, but the battle quickly turns into a massacre. Nappa's power is too great for the humans, and Piccolo is badly wounded. With his final strength, Piccolo calls out for the one warrior who can win. Broly arrives in a flash of green light, his presence warping the very air. Vegeta's scouter melts into a puddle of slag as he reads Broly's power. Nappa charges Broly, blinded by his own arrogance and warrior pride. Broly catches Nappa's fist and crushes it like a piece of dry parchment. Vegeta realizes he is facing a god and activates his Great Ape transformation. The massive Great Ape Vegeta towers over the plains, roaring at the sun. Broly enters his wrathful state, his eyes glowing gold as he channels the ape. The power of Broly's wrathful state makes the Great Ape look like a toy. Vegeta flees the planet in terror, leaving Nappa behind in the dust. Vegeta reports his failure to Frieza, warning him of the legendary Saiyan's presence. Frieza's armada descends on Earth, a sea of ships blotting out the sun. Frieza begins a systematic bombardment, leveling entire cities from his command chair. The destruction triggers a genetic memory within Broly's cells of Planet Vegeta's end. Broly lets out a scream that shakes the foundations of the Earth itself. He transforms into the legendary Super Saiyan, his muscles expanding beyond human limits. Frieza enters his golden form, realizing this is a fight for his survival. The two titans collide, creating shockwaves that tear the landscape apart for miles. Broly's power grows as the fight continues, feeding on Frieza's relentless attacks. Frieza realizes he cannot win through strength and switches to psychological warfare. A precision death beam pierces through Piccolo's chest as he tries to stand. Broly freezes as he feels his teacher's energy signature begin to fade away. His scream of loss levels everything for 2 kilometers, a wave of pure sorrow. Krillin crawls through the rubble, reaching into his pouch for a sensu bean. He feeds the bean to Piccolo, and the Namekian's life force suddenly flares. Broly senses the recovery and manages to pull himself back from the brink. Piccolo's voice calls to him, reminding him of the discipline they practiced together. Broly stands before Frieza, no longer a beast, but a controlled force of nature. Seeing that his weapon cannot be broken, Frieza decides to retreat and regroup. Earth is saved, though the scars of the battle will remain for generations. Vegeta trains in deep space, obsessed with the power of the legendary Saiyan. Broly returns to Mount Paozu, sitting by the grave of Grandpa Gohan. A warrior in process, Broly takes a breath, ready to face his own future.